Alright y'all, welcome back to another turkey pattern test video. I am really excited, to say the least, for what I've got to test out today. It's something that I've been searching for several years actually, and couldn't get one for a number of different reasons. But I finally got one, and I am super excited to see how it does, because nobody else, to my knowledge, out here on YouTube, and very few people, even on forums and stuff, have talked about these chokes, and definitely nobody has showed patterns from one of these chokes. So I want to see, do they hold up, or are they not worth it at all? So we're back out here again in the afternoon shadows with the 1187 Premier. Alright, this is the choke that I was finally able to track down. Let me see if I can get it in the light. Maybe you guys can see. This is a factory Remington made, straight rifled, super full turkey choke. I highly doubt you'll be able to see in there. I'll get a close-up picture and try to put it in the video. But about halfway down inside that choke, there is rifling. But it does not twist like normal rifling. It's completely straight. Supposedly, that's supposed to hook onto the wad and help strip the wad without your shot cup spinning as it exits the barrel. In theory, it sounds like it might seriously help, but on the other hand, your shot cup shouldn't really be spinning a ton anyway as it's leaving the end of the barrel, but who knows? I'm not a ballistician. I never have been, so I don't know. Maybe this is a gimmick. Maybe it's going to work fantastic. Let's find out and see how this straight rifled factory Remington turkey choke can hold up to something like today's modern turkey chokes. And I should address that yes, it does say lead shot only on the side of the choke. Now, I've done a little bit of research, and in my experience, lead only chokes are typically designed in a way where they're not supposed to have steel shot, like duck loads and things like that, shot through them. Now, yes, I'm aware that today's turkey loads, like the tungsten loads and things like that, are a lot harder than the steel loads are. But in my experience and doing a little bit of research, the choke is made from the exact same steel as the modern chokes that are designed for the TSS tungsten loads. So it shouldn't have any major effect on it. Now, yes, over time, if you shoot a ton of loads through it that are the heavy tungsten loads, it may start to wear out those rifling lands and grooves that run down the inside of the choke. But for limited testing purposes like we're going to be doing, it should be perfectly fine. So I'm just going to address that now and get it out of the way, because I know somebody's going to comment about it. But for the loads that we're going to be starting out with, I figured this would be a decent starting point here. This is the Salt Creek Custom 12 gauge 2 3/4 inch shells. They're 2 3/4 inch, 1 5/8 ounce of number 9s, going 1200 feet per second. Now, if you've seen the other video where we tested these 2 3/4 inch shells through that kicks choke that I normally run in my 1187, you will have seen that these 2 3/4 inch shells did surprisingly well. I mean, they shot really well for a 2 3/4 shell. So, can they shoot as well or maybe even better out of the straight rifle choke? It's something completely different that I've never tested. Nobody that I've ever talked to has tested. So, let's go over to the bench, which is set up at 40 yards from the turkey target, and see how these things perform with these Salt Creek shells. Alright, we're set up on the bench, 40 yards, with the factory Remington straight rifled turkey choke. So, let's shoot these Salt Creek 2 3/4 inch 9s through it, and see, can they stand up to what they perform like out of a modern choke, since they don't make these straight rifled chokes anymore from Remington. Walking up to this target, this is what we get. There's a couple of flyers up around the top. That choke definitely shot low. out of my gun. But I'm kind of somewhere in the middle about this one. It's definitely not a terrible pattern. I think most of all of your shot is on paper, and it will definitely kill a bird at 40 yards. Is it as good as that Kicks was with this shell? No, I don't think so. But with that being said, it may shoot better with a lead load, like it says on the shell. Who knows? We'll have to test it and see. But one thing I did notice about this is you do have a few more voids right around the core area of the pattern this time. That's something I don't typically see out of that 1187 with shells like these. So, did it condense some of the flyers? Yeah, maybe. But did it open up the core? Yeah, definitely, I believe. But all in all, it's not a terrible start, especially for the first shot ever out of one of these that I've seen anyway. I'm going to be putting a ton more loads through it, so I don't know. Maybe we can tune that in a little bit and have something really special, because right now it's just, with this shell anyway, it's kind of just in the middle. It's okay, it's not terrible, it's not amazing. Alright, well, what do y'all think about it? I'm kind of in the middle right now. It definitely needs more testing with more shells put through it, which I'm absolutely planning on doing. But for its first outing, being that I have zero experience with a choke like that at all, I've never shot one, I've never seen another one be shot at all anywhere, I'm not terribly disappointed. I know it was originally designed for like the old XX lead loads back when it was first made, since they don't produce it anymore. And I think I have a couple of those shells if you guys want to see them tested. But either way, I'm going to be running more shells through it. I'm not finished with this yet. I think we can tune that in, and I think something that I've got is going to shoot really well out of that, whether it be super tight core or what I think is more plausible and just eliminating flyers from around the edge of the pattern. I think that's where this choke is going to shine, especially when we get into lead loads through it. It's going to be narrowing down some of those flyers that you get around the edge of your pattern sometimes. Either way, I got a ton more testing to do with it, so stick around, because that stuff's going to be coming soon. But tell me down below, have you guys ever used one of these? I want to know. Does anybody have experience with one of these? And if so, was it good? Was it bad? Did you find a load that it really likes through it? Something that you may not expect that it likes? I want to hear about it in the comments, because there is not much out there on this choke. And I'm going to be doing plenty more tests with it and try to find a load that it works really well with. But what do y'all think about it? Is that a good pattern? Is it kind of in the middle, kind of where I am? It's not anything amazing. It's not anything terrible. It's definitely not the Salt Creek shells. And I got to give a huge thank you to those guys for sending out a couple shells for me to test. But it's definitely not that shell, because we know that shell performs. If you have not seen that video with me shooting that shell through the Kicks, I'll leave a card up above for it. It's definitely one that you want to see. Either way, I think that's a pretty decent start. It's a pretty good starting place for us to go from here. We'll test both lead loads, cheaper, a little bit more expensive. We'll test some more TSS loads through it. I got a couple more of those that are going to be coming up here soon. So we'll try and run everything we can through this choke and really put it through the test, since nobody else really has, and see what kind of patterns we can actually get to see out of a choke like this. So I think I'm going to wrap up testing for this afternoon. I got a few more shells on the way that will be coming here within the next few days to week time frame, so stick around for those. And let me know what y'all think about this down below. I've already said my thoughts, and I have a feeling that you guys are going to think something relatively the same. Alright, so let me stop rambling here. You've heard my thoughts. Put your thoughts down below. And until next time, I'll see y'all later.